Hi.
Hola.
Hi, hier ist Mr. Döse.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Under Armour Clutchfit Force 3.0 in the latest neon coral and white colorway. Now, as you can see, these are extremely bright, but along with being extremely bright, I also think that this is the most underrated boot of 2017. You could make a case for some Mizuno stuff as being really underrated, although they haven't had really any new releases this year. You could make a case for the Puma Evo Power Vigor 1 as an underrated boot, but this is by far way less popular than those shoes that I just mentioned, and mainly that has to do with the Under Armour brand. They're just not reputable enough in the soccer cleat football boot world, where a lot of people just don't want to take them seriously. They don't necessarily even consider Under Armour boots, no matter how good they might be. And trust me when I say that these things are excellent. So in today's video, I'm going to go over what I think about these. We'll talk tech specs, we'll break everything down, we'll take a look at the fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more, stick around and watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below in the description. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $220 retail price. So, the colorway, extremely bright. It's a neon coral, which is this particular shade of orange, and it's so bright that they're essentially glowing in a well-lit area. You have the orange on orange for the upper. You can see the pattern of the Clutchfit material on the surface, which is a cool little extra detail that you don't necessarily see from a distance, but obviously very noticeable up close. And then white is your main accent color. We don't see enough two-color colorways, but two colors, when kept very simple, I think can look quite good. So you have your Under Armour logo on both sides with the Clutchfit branding there in white going down the back of the heel. And then the sole plate, as you guys can see, is white for basically the back 2/3 and then orange for the front third of the sole plate. And there's a really cool kind of paint splatter detail running through the logos, as well as parts of the sole plate as well. That again, just keep things very, very simple. It's a clean looking shoe. I don't think there's a whole lot to criticize. I know some people just don't like the look of the Under Armour branding, but I would say overall, it's a pretty good looking shoe. Maybe a little bit too bright for my taste, but let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Now, in regards to tech specs and performance, if you guys watch my videos regularly, you may have seen the top 5 most comfortable boots out of the box video. That went up not too long ago. I'll leave a pop-up on screen if you want to check that out. Spoiler alert though, these were featured in that video for very good reason. They are some of the most comfortable shoes out of the box that you can buy, and I'll talk about this a little bit more and why that is during the on-feet portion of the video, but a huge factor here is the upper. It's a Clutchfit upper, so the base is a Trivela synthetic material, and then on top of that, you have the Clutchfit material, which is basically a thin rubberized webbing, which is this kind of chevron style pattern that you see running throughout the entire thing, these little arrows, and basically those add structure, but there's spaces in between where the Trivela synthetic base is actually elasticated in pretty much 4 directions. So you have a stretchy base and then a reinforcement webbed kind of webbed top layer to hold everything in place. So what you'll find that when you put these shoes on and you tie the laces tight is that the upper kind of stretches around your foot, giving you this really interesting one-to-one fit. But at the same time, once tension is on the laces and tension is on the upper, it holds itself in place really nicely because of that Clutchfit reinforcement top layer. So the end result is kind of an instantaneous customized fit, whereas normally with a shoe you'd have a predetermined shape and then you have to kind of break it in and have it mold to your feet. These pretty much stretch around your feet, which is a really interesting concept, but one that works extremely well and partially why these are so comfortable out of the box. There's really no break-in time here. They just fit as soon as you pull the laces tight, which is so cool and probably the most unique aspect of this particular shoe. You can't get that sensation from anything else out there. What's also kind of unique in regards to the upper is that it does have somewhat of a rubberized texturing to it. So there's a little bit of a grippiness on the ball. Not a ton. I wouldn't necessarily compare this to like an Adidas Predator Instinct or something like that, but it is more grippy than what you would find from most other shoes, which is more of a personal preference thing. I really like the way that that feels, and it is kind of nice to have that little bit of extra grip, especially when shooting, in my opinion, but that's again something worth mentioning. You may like that, you may dislike that. It's a personal preference thing. Laces run through the middle, as you guys can see, with a regular tongue design. Nothing crazy there whatsoever, although you do have some memory foam inserts running through the middle to help cut down on any kind of lace bite, which is not an issue with this particular shoe. You have an internal plastic heel counter, nice and solid here at the back. And then on the inside, you're gonna see that the heel liner is actually a synthetic leather, but then there's these 4 black strips running down the very back. And basically that is a non-slip application type material that's kind of like a synthetic suede. It's the best way I would describe it, but it actually does a really, really good job of gripping your socks and helping to lock your heel in place. So again, heel slippage is not an issue here whatsoever. The insole, that's another major talking point of this particular shoe and something that makes it particularly unique in that you get a significant amount of underfoot cushioning from the stock insole in this shoe. So I'll pull it out really quickly so you guys can see. They do partially glue it in, so when you do remove it for the first time, you're gonna have to use a little bit of effort, but it does come out cleanly. And it's interesting because it's Under Armour's charged foam, which you'll see in a lot of their running and training models, but it's just straight up foam. There's no liner on the surface. It just has a little bit of a texturing, which I really, really like. Helps to cut down weight, gives you more of a connected sensation, and there's nothing to wear on the surface of the actual insole as well. But as far as cushioning is concerned, it doesn't look like much, but trust me when I say that this particular insole provides more underfoot cushioning than pretty much any other soccer shoe. You might say, how does it compare to the Boost insole and Boost outsole that you find on the actual 17 Plus Pure Control from Adidas? This is so much better than that. That Boost foam, honestly, the way that they implemented it on that shoe, it just feels like a regular insole. This feels like almost running shoe cushioning inside of a low profile soccer shoe. So it really is that good. The best insole you can get on any boot right now. Again, a really cool feature of this particular shoe and something that again, just makes the experience that much more comfortable. So I'm just gonna slide this in really, really quickly because it's a little bit sticky at the bottom. Nonetheless, the sole plate and stud pattern, things are quite simple here. It's got a fairly standard construction in terms of just material itself. It's a TPU plastic, really nice flexibility to it, which I like. Has a nice natural sensation on foot. And then as far as the stud pattern is concerned, it's loosely what you would get from something like a Nike Tiempo in terms of the layout. Your 8 studs in the forefoot, your 4 in the heel, and then some support studs running through the middle, all conical in shape, very straightforward, works really well on firm natural grass. Not too aggressive, not too clingy. It really is just a good blend of everything. Kind of a modern style traditional stud pattern, but one that works extremely well. No complaints in that regard whatsoever. In regards to weight, these guys weigh in at 7.9 ounces in a size 9.5 US, which is not overly lightweight. It's comparable to something like a Pure Control. If you're comparing it to anything, that's kind of the first shoe that I could think of. That's right around the 8-ounce mark. They don't feel heavy on your feet at all. They're not going to be super, super lightweight like a pair of Vapors or something like that. But again, I don't necessarily think that's the selling point on this shoe. What you really need to know is that the upper is extremely unique in terms of how it fits. It's such a comfortable shoe. The underfoot cushioning and just natural sensation that you get from this boot is unlike anything else. So overall, as a tech package, you can't really compare this to anything. It's very, very unique, and that's partially what I like about Under Armour. They seem to be developing their own unique stuff as opposed to trying to copy people. And the end result with the Clutchfit 3rd generation is just a very, very well put together package. And one that, like I said, I can very highly recommend. That's enough about the shoes though. Let's take a look at how they fit and feel on feet. So you can see on the right shoe, I actually swapped in some wide white reflective SR4U replacement laces. I went with the wide variation just because it kind of looks more like the stock lace. I don't mind a wider lace on this type of a shoe, the way that it laces up and stuff like that. Plus it's got the reflective strips and the white just accents really, really nicely with all the colors here on the shoe, mainly the white in the logo. So if you are interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. There'll be a little pop-up on screen, as well as a link down below in the description. So if you're interested in a pair, be sure to go ahead and check that out. Now you can see immediately, watch when I tighten it, watch how far. Normally when you tighten a shoe, you would tighten it, and I'm not going to tighten them that much, but this part of the shoe, the actual lacing position, is not going to move with the actual laces as you tighten them. But you'll notice that with this shoe, they actually move together. They come and stretch, and you'll notice that there's actually tension on the upper, and it's all stretching. It's slightly elasticated, which is really, really unusual, but once that tension is there, it just holds super, super nicely. So you get this really, really close wrap to your foot, which again is just unlike anything else. It's a customized fit as you lace the shoes up. which is kind of why they do lacing systems in the first place. But this kind of uses the laces along with the stretchiness of the upper to really just kind of almost like shrink wrap to your foot, if that makes any sense. It stretches and then compresses, which is just a really, really cool way of doing things. And a way of doing things that just feels super, super comfortable. So you can see here on the medial side, the way it fits right now, there's a little bit of kind of bumpiness. The material doesn't necessarily wrap my foot all that closely, but as soon as I start pulling on the laces, it pulls on the upper, it pulls everything as close to my foot as it possibly can be, and you get that tightness without feeling like your foot's suffocating. So if you have, for example, like a really narrow fitting shoe, like something like a Mercurial Vapor, if you do have wider feet, you're gonna find that the shoe feels like it's squeezing your foot. This is gonna give you that tight wrap, but it's never gonna feel like it's squeezing your feet because it's stretching around your feet versus forcing your foot into a specific shape. So that's what makes this shoe so comfortable and what makes it so unique in comparison to everything else. Again, flexibility is awesome. The upper moves really nicely with your foot because it does have that little bit of stretch to it. Maintains good responsiveness as well, which is obviously a big concern here. But again, so comfortable out of the box, really good heel lockdown. Underfoot cushioning is unlike anything else you can get on a pair of soccer shoes. And again, I just find these shoes extremely comfortable. No break-in time required. In regards to width, these are going to be suitable for just about anybody as well. They've got good width to them, and again, the material of the upper really does allow it to kind of adapt to any unique foot shape, let's just say. So if you do have unusually shaped feet and you kind of have a hard time finding shoes that fit you properly, something like this, it's basically just going to form to your foot instantaneously as you tie the laces tight. So these definitely may be worth a look if you have a hard time getting the right fit out of your shoes, which I know a lot of people do struggle with that. In regards to sizing, they run about a half size small. So instead of wearing my usual size 9 US, I bumped it up to a 9.5, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going a half size up in order to achieve the best possible fit. So that's pretty much it, guys, for my review of the ClutchFit Force 3.0 from Under Armour. Super underrated, but very highly recommended. Again, if you're interested in a pair, you can click the little eye in the corner of the screen or the first link down below in the description. That'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $220 retail price. If you have any questions regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comment section. I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.